Many people do not realize how fun and exciting cooking really can be. The information provided below will give you an idea for simple approaches to cooking that can make your palate dance with delight. You do not have to be a chef to make outstanding meals that you will enjoy. Rather than pouring out leftover wine, pour it into an ice cube tray, then place the wine cubes in a labeled bag in the freezer. You can add these cubes to sauces, roasts, soups and other dishes for extra flavor, and wine that you don't drink fast enough doesn't go to waste. When deep frying foods, use long tongs to place the pieces in the oil, but hold them just under the oil's surface for a few seconds before releasing. This helps the outside of the food begin to cook, sealing the surface and preventing it from sticking to the bottom of the fryer or pot. Cook up the whole bag of potatoes at once. Slice them in half and put them in the freezer. Whether you boil or bake them, you'll always be ready to thaw out potatoes to use for a hastily put together potato bar dinner, to use as ingredients for potato salad or any other dishes that use cooked potatoes. Check your ingredients before starting a recipe. There is nothing worse than getting halfway through a recipe, only to realize that you are missing a vital ingredient. Also, you will save time by assembling everything. Measure everything out, and prepare any ingredients in advance. This way, you won't suddenly find yourself having to chop an onion or grate cheese when you are right in the middle of your recipe. Before frying raw potatoes, let them sit in cold water for at least a half an hour. By doing this, the fries will be more crispy. Also, letting them sit in cold water will cut down on the time it takes for them to cook thoroughly. When you are sautéing anything, make sure that you use a big enough pan to accommodate the amount of food that you are putting in it. You do not want to overcrowd the food. Overcrowding the food will cook it by steaming it instead, and it will ruin your sauté. One useful tool to use when chopping herbs into smaller sizes is the cutting board. Often while cutting, herbs move around instead of staying in place. To stop this from happening, simply apply a little salt to the cutting board before you begin cutting your herbs. This will keep them in place and make your cooking much easier. If you are cooking a meal and it calls for already cooked chicken, the best thing to do is to stop at the deli counter and buy a whole already cooked chicken. You can also buy frozen chicken that is already cooked as well. It may be expensive, but if you are in a pinch, it is good for you. The tips that have been given in the above article should have helped you to realize that anyone can cook if they put their mind to it. There is no reason to make any excuses when it comes to cooking. If you fail at one dish, there is always another waiting to be cooked.